Hello, good day, guys. So, for today, we are going to discuss the angles of elevation and angles of depression. So, are you ready? So, let us first define what an angle of elevation is and what an angle of depression is. So, the angle of elevation is the angle between the imaginary line of sight and the horizontal line where the object is above the observer. So when we say angle of elevation, from the word elevation, pag sinabi nating elevation, it is elevated. Ibig sabihin nasa taas or mas mataas, something like that. So when we say angle of elevation, this is about the angle, yung angle na nabubuo between for example, ito yung, wait lang. So for example, ito yung mata natin. And merong object sa taas. And yung object na yun is, for example, meron tayong tinitignan na ibon na nasa taas. Yan. So now, when we say angle of elevation, it is the angle between the imaginary line of sight. So tinitignan natin yan. So yung imaginary line of sight, yan yung pagtingin natin dun sa ibon and the horizontal line sa mata natin. So ito yung horizontal line. So ngayon, itong angle na nabubuo na to, this is now the angle of elevation. Okay. Naintindihan ba yon? So ulitin natin when we say angle of elevation, so it is the angle between the imaginary line of sight, yung object na tinitingnan mo na nasa taas, and the horizontal line. So yung from your eyes pa horizontal, that yung angle na nabubuo doon, that is the angle of elevation. So next is the angle of depression. So kanina, kung yung angle of elevation is yung tinitingnan natin, for the angle of depression, yung tinitingnan natin na nasa taas, for the angle of depression naman, yung tinitingnan natin na nasa baba. So if ito yung mata natin, so kanina tinitingnan natin yung ibon na nasa taas. So assuming na tinitingnan naman natin yung ibon na nasa baba. Tinitingnan natin yung ibon na nasa baba. So yung imaginary line of sight and then the horizontal line, yung nabuong angle dyan, that is the angle of depression. So to recap, to summarize this, when we say angle of elevation, ito yung ibon na nasa taas, tinitingnan natin. Pag sinabi nating angle of depression, tinitingnan natin yung ibon na nasa baba. So I have here an illustration para mas madaling maintindihan. So if this is you, yung tinitingnan mo sa taas, that is the angle of elevation. Yung tinitingnan mo sa baba, that is the angle of depression. And this is the horizontal line. So always remember that. So yung mga susunod is illustrations and let's identify kung ito ba, yung pinapakita ba sa illustration is an angle of elevation or depression. So this figure depicts an angle of elevation. So as you can see, this man is looking at the top of this tower. So ngayon from the eye papunta dun sa may top, that is the line of sight, and then mula dun sa mata pa horizontal is the horizontal line, of course. And this is now the angle of elevation. Next illustration. So assuming that there is a guy here, so ito yung horizontal line looking at the boat. So now this is the angle of depression. Next illustration. So, there is a woman here. Tinitignan yung car. So, this is an angle of depression. So, there is a man here looking at the top of the building. So, as you can see, this is an angle of elevation. Why? Simply because yung tinitignan niya ay nasa taas. Okay, let's proceed. I'll be giving you some examples. Example number 1, an observer standing at the top of a building spots a house at an angle of depression of 12 degrees. The building is 60 meters tall. How far is the house from the building? So the first thing we have to do here is to draw the illustration. Kailangan nating i-drawing yung illustration para mas madali nating maintindihan yung problem. So an observer is standing at the top of a building. So therefore, this is ground. This is the ground, and then andito yung building. So yung observer daw nakatayo sa top ng building. So assuming na ito siya, ay nang tinitignan niya ay yung sabi dito, spots a house at an angle of depression of 12 degrees. So meron daw ditong bahay. Tinitignan ng observer yan. And this is the horizontal line. So now, the angle of depression is 12 degrees. 12 degrees. So the building is 60 meters tall. So yung building daw ay 60 meters yung taas. And the question here is that how far is the house from the building? So ito yung kailangan nating hanapin. So first is we have to analyze yung pagkakakonect ng mga ito. So knowing that the building's height is 60 meters, so we can say that this part of the triangle na nagawa natin is also 60 meters. So this is from the bottom ha. Yan. And ang hinahanap natin is ito. Kung gaano ba kalayo ito. So now, using the trigonometric functions and using this angle of inclination, what trigonometric function or what trigonometric ratio should be used to solve for this part. So now, if this is our angle and then ito yung isang given, this is the angle ha. So therefore, ito yung opposite niya. This is the opposite and ano to nung angle? This is the adjacent. So now, we have to analyze or we have to think ano ba yung merong opposite and adjacent from the formula? Sa formula natin, we have this SOHCAHTOA. Remember that? SOHCAHTOA. Asaan dito? We have SOHCAHTOA. Asaan dyan yung opposite and adjacent? Opposite and adjacent. So that is OA. Asan dyan yung merong OA? Ito. So therefore, we have to use tangent. We have tangent 12 degrees is equal to opposite 60 meters all over the adjacent or simply A na lang yan. So now, to solve for this, cross multiplication, we have A tangent 12 degrees is equal to 60 meters. Divide both sides by tangent 12 degrees. Therefore, A is equal to, so when you are dividing like this, I-type nyo na lang sa calculator yan. So we have 60 divided by tangent 12 degrees. That is equal to 282.28 meters. Since we are asked kung gaano kalayo yung bahay sa building, so we have to use yung appropriate na unit. Since from the given the height of the building is 60 meters, then this should also be in meters. So therefore, yung building and yung bahay, the distance is equal to 282.28 meters. Okay, naintindihan yan? So let's now have the last example. Find the height of a hot air balloon that is directly above a nipa hat if the angle of depression of a carabao 62 meters away from the nipa hat is 14 degrees 55 minutes. So again, the first thing to do is to draw the illustration. So meron daw hot air balloon. Yan, assuming na hot air balloon to. Siyempre, of course, merong tao dyan. So ngayon, the angle of depression of a carabao is 14 degrees 55 minutes. So nito yung hindi ako marunong mag-drawing. Hindi sa carabao yan. Carabao. So the angle of depression is equal to 14 degrees 55 minutes. By the way, sabi pa rito directly above a nipahat. So ito yung nipahat. ...62 meters away from the nipahat. So yung carabao daw ay 62 meters away. 62 meters away. Or simply, we can say that this 62 meters is from this. Itong mula dito sa hot air balloon papunta sa carabao is 62 meters away. Why? Simply because, sabi nga dito, the hot air balloon is directly above the nipahat. So yung hot air balloon is directly above the nipahat. Therefore, kung gaano kalayo yung nipahat doon sa carabao, ganoon din kalayo yung from the horizontal aspect, ganoon din kalayo yung hot air balloon dun sa carabao. So now, we are asked to find the height of the hot air balloon. So ito yung kailangan nating hanapin. Or simply, actually ito yung hinahanap natin, pero we can relate it to here. So now, this is the angle of inclination. Ano niya tong hinahanap na to? This is the opposite. From the angle of from the angle of inclination, ano naman to? This is the adjacent. So as you can see, from the Sokotowa, we can say na ang kailangan natin gamitin dyan is the tangent. Why? Because of this. Kasi ang kailangan natin hanapin is the opposite and ang isang given is adjacent. So opposite over adjacent. So we have tangent 14 degrees 55 minutes is equal to the opposite over 62 meters. So 62 meters multiplied by tangent 14 degrees 55 minutes is, so we have O is equal to 62 tangent 14 degrees 55 minutes. Directly to the calculator, so we have 62 tangent 14 degrees 55 minutes is equal to 16.52 meters. So therefore, the height of the hot air balloon directly above Anipa hat is equal to 16.52 meters. Therefore, this is 16.52 meters. So, as you can see, ganun lang naman kadali yung pagsasolve ng mga ganitong problems as long as you are familiar with the trigonometric functions, with the SOHCAHTOA, with the trigonometric ratios, and as long as alam niyo kung paano gumamit ng calculator using uh, the trigonometric ratios, everything is very easy. So, ganun lang siya kadali. So if you have any questions, just comment it down below para masagot ko yung mga tanong ninyo. So that's it for our discussion. See you next time. Goodbye.